Hello everyone, welcome to Mascot Concepts, the series where I create mascots for teams that don't have one. Today for episode 11, I will be creating mascots for the NBA team, the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks is one out of the 4 teams in the NBA that doesn't have a mascot, but that's going to change today as I've created 3 different concepts for a Knicks mascot. So without further ado, let's get started. And also, sorry Knicks fans, but Spike Lee doesn't count. Before I share my first mascot concept, I should explain how I come up with mascots for teams without one. I usually think of the team itself. For example, I think back to their history and do a little bit of research into what would represent them best. I also think of where they play at, that being the state or city, as well as merchandise, since some of these teams use a fake mascot in some merchandise. So with all that information out of the way, here's the first mascot concept for the New York Knicks. So the first mascot concept I've created is a pretty interesting choice, but it's still creative. That being, a kangaroo. Now what does a kangaroo have to do with the Knicks? Well, nothing really, other than the fact that Knicks rhymes with kicks, and kangaroos can kick. Yeah, I'm so creative. But also, kangaroos are very athletic animals that can jump really high, just like basketball players. So with that out of the way, here's the first design. This is my design of a kangaroo Knicks mascot. He doesn't have a name as I wasn't able to figure out one. If you have a good name, please comment it down below. Here's a fun fact. When I originally came up with his design, he looked too much like Scooby-Doo, so I had to redesign him to be more original. He's got large kangaroo ears with multicolored hair and a blue headband. I gave him a face design that looks more kangaroo-like than originally. As for his body, I gave him a round body shape similar to Bernie from the Miami Heat or Stuff from the Orlando Magic. I almost gave him a pouch, but then I learned only female kangaroos have pouches, not males. And finally, he's got a large tail with oversized kangaroo feet. And of course, I won't talk too much about the jersey, as it's just the normal Knicks uniform. Overall, this is an interesting but good choice for the Knicks mascot. Kangaroos are such fascinating animals, and very athletic too. It's surprising not too many sports teams use a kangaroo as their mascot. The only one I can think of is the Akron Zips with their mascot Zippy. But now let's say the Knicks wouldn't want a kangaroo as their mascot, but something that's related to New York as a whole. Well, here's the perfect mascot for that. Now this next mascot I created may sound dumb, but when I explain it, it will make way more sense. That being, an eastern bluebird. Now what does an eastern bluebird have to do with the Knicks? Well, these birds have a color scheme of blue and orange, just like the Knicks. But the main reason I chose this bird specifically is because it's actually the state bird of New York. So why not have a state symbol as your mascot? I mean, that's what Louisville did. But with all that out of the way, here's the design. So here's my bluebird design, and once again he doesn't have a name, so please come up with a name for him. There's really not much to talk about in terms of this design. It's pretty much just a normal eastern bluebird with a Knicks jersey on it. I did give him a slightly oversized head, and I did give him an open mouth, but because the beak is black it's hard to see what's what. Also, I should mention that he does have a tail, but from this angle you can't really see it. Overall, I do like an eastern bluebird being the mascot. It's a unique choice, and it makes sense when you learn why he's a choice. But now let's say the Knicks want something else, something that's cooler than a bird, but still New York related. Well, here's another great choice for the mascot. The last mascot I created is a really strange choice, but just like the bluebird, this one kinda makes sense. That being, a sea scorpion. Now what the heck does a sea scorpion have to do with the Knicks? Well, nothing really. But again, just like the bluebird, it too is a New York State symbol. It's the state fossil of New York. And plus, it looks really cool. So with all that out of the way, here's the design. Here's the design for the sea scorpion. Again, I couldn't think of a name for him, so please come up with a name for him in the comments. This guy was definitely the hardest to create out of all these mascots. It's really hard translating sea creatures into normal-sized human costumes, but at least the sea scorpion has arms and legs. Actually, he has claws. And for his head, it's just a normal arachnid head with that weird mouth thing, but I did try to make it not scary looking. And finally, I would say that his tail would most likely be lightweight, and not posed like in this drawing, since he would need to dunk, and this tail could get in the way. It also won't be sharp on the end. Overall, a sea scorpion is a pretty fun choice for the Knicks mascot. It is certainly unique. You don't see too many scorpion mascots in sports, despite them being cool animals. And on that note, this concludes my New York Knicks Mascot Concepts. And there you have it, mascot concepts for the NBA's New York Knicks. I know that some Knicks fans may not actually want a mascot, and I can respect that, but don't get mad at me, this video is just for fun. However, if anyone for the New York Knicks is watching this, please consider getting a team mascot. It'll definitely help you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next month on Mascot Concepts Season 3. Bye-bye!